Okay, hi there guys, and welcome to this free lesson for March 2012. This lesson is going to be a harmony lesson based on a normal 2-5-1 progression, and we're going to basically enhance this 2-5-1 progression by using our Phrygian scale. So there's two things that you may be familiar with that you've not used together before. So a 2-5-1 progression, we're going to be using one in the key of G. So our 2 chord is A minor 7, that's the second chord within the key diatonically, so A minor 7. Okay, D7, just a normal dominant 7th, I'm going to play a D9. And then G major 7. So 2, 5, 1. Very basic, very simple 2-5-1. Now normally when you play over that progression, there's a load of ways you could think of playing over that progression, but let's take this chord scale kind of approach for now. And for each chord, we're going to play a particular scale. So for the A minor 7, we normally will play A Dorian. For the D9 in this case, or the D dominant 7th, there's a ton of choices, but we're going to play just a straight Mixolydian, D Mixolydian. And then for the G major 7, chord 1, we play G major. You could also play G Lydian. Okay, so your 2-5-1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the Phrygian scale, which is in this case going to be D Phrygian, in place of our Mixolydian scale for the 5 chord. And in order to do this, we need to change the 5 chord to a Phrygian chord of some type. In other words, a chord that really only sounds like the Phrygian scale. So the intervals within that chord outline the sound of our Phrygian. Now before we get into that, normally when you think of Phrygian, you don't tend to use it in this kind of chordal context so much within a key. So what we're doing here is a substitution. We're substituting our D7 chord for a D Phrygian chord, and we're going to name that chord in a minute. But as I say, let's have a look at the intervals or the notes within the D Phrygian so that we can come up with a chord that outlines the sound of our D Phrygian scale. Okay, it's going to make our 2-5-1 a little darker, but that's a cool thing. We like tension in our 2-5-1s. Okay, so the notes in the D Phrygian scale, we start with D at the 5th fret of the A string. That's our root. We're then going to play E flat, which is a flat 2nd or a flat 9th. And then we play F, which is our 3rd, a flat 3rd in this case. So that's 5, 6, 8. We've then got the 5th fret on the D string, which is the note G. That's the 1st finger. Okay, that's our natural 4th. We then have a natural 5th. Same as the major scale, which is the note A with the 3rd finger. We've then got B flats, which is the flat 6th or flat 13th, which is the note B flat. So we've got 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8. And then 5 on the G string, which is the note C, that's our flat 7. And then the octave, which is the 7th fret or the note D again. So 5, 6, 8, 5, 6, 5, 6, 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, sorry. Okay, that's our Phrygian scale. Now the really interesting notes there that we're going to put into our chord were the flattened 2nd, and I'm going to put the 4th degree in there as well. The flattened 2nd is unique to, of the minor modes, Dorian, Phrygian and Aeolian. The flat 2nd is unique to the Phrygian scale, so we're going to put that in there. I'm going to put the 4th in there, the note G, and the flattened 7th. Okay. And I'm going to put the root note, obviously. So the chord that we're going to get is called D sus4 flat 9. Okay, so we've got the flat 9, the sus4, and in this case we've got the flat 7. So I guess we could call it D7 sus4 flat 9. Okay, don't worry about the name. Let's just have a listen to the chord. Okay, when I play the chord, it sounds like this. So in this shape, which in standard tuning, by the way, is 5th fret on the A with the 2nd finger, 5th fret on the D with the 3rd finger, 5th fret on the G with the little finger, and 1st finger on the 4th fret of the B string. Okay, if I turn that towards the camera a little bit, you can see that 1st finger on the 4th fret, little finger on the 5th fret of the G, 5th fret of the D, 5th fret of the A. Okay, let's just turn that around again. Okay, so it sounds like this in my tuning where I'm all in 4ths. Now we've got the flat 9 here, which is the 4th fret for you guys, that's the flat 9. And we've got the flat 7, the 4th, and the root, and all those notes are contained within the D Dorian scale. But the use of this flat 9 means that only Dorian will fit. Sorry, not Dorian, Phrygian, I apologise, only Phrygian will fit. Okay, let's have a listen to the scale after the chord. So you can hear the two things fit together really well. Now what we're going to do here is, instead of playing a normal D7 or D9, some kind of D7 chord, we're going to play this D7 sus4 flat 9 or D Phrygian chord. It's a much easier way of referring to it if you just call it D Phrygian. And then our G major 7. So we have 2, 5, 1. And you hear the nice voice leading there if I use the A minor 7 standard kind of A minor 7 shape in standard tuning. And then there's our D7 sus4 flat 9 followed by our G major 7. In my tuning it looks like this. Okay, so 2, 5, 1. Now we've got the Phrygian scale in place of the Mixolydian scale, and it still functions as a dominant 7th. It still functions as a 5 chord, really, I should say. You can hear the resolution. So in other words, we still have the normal 2, 5, 1 root movements, and the chords still function in the standard way they would on a 2, 5, 1. So what I'm going to do is, over the A minor 7, I'm going to play A Dorian. Over the D7 sus4 flat 9, I'm going to play D Phrygian. Hopefully not like that. And then I'm going to play G major or G Lydian over the G major 7. So let me set up a little groove for you. I'm just going to use the looper for this, and then I'll play over the top and you can hear the scales in action. So this is using a Phrygian scale in place of a normal 5 chord. So here we go. Okay, so there you have it. Try this with lots of different 2-5-1s. Change the key, so you could do this in any key. Basically just change the 5 chord to be this Phrygian chord, this 7 sus4 flat 9. If you go to my website, www.tomquayle.co.uk, you'll find a few different voicings of this chord and the scale written out as well. so that you can really get into and dig into these different voicings for this particular scale. Hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next time.